Hello class, welcome back to Psychology Foundation Education. On Saturday last week, we have learned about the learning theories. So, you have know the definition and various brands of learning theories are used in formal training programs to improve and accelerate the learning processes such as behaviorist, cognitive, and combinist approach. Okay, that focus on the method of how to know about the strategy and learners' behaviors. As if today I orient you to familiarize more about the learning processes and how to observe the student learning. Just before I'm into the new units, I always tell or ask you the relating question and you review the all you need and have been talking about my homeworks also. But all the result that I have gotten is still be negative. I have thought that the subject makes students be ignorant and conflicting because the subjects have relate to the psychological skills. Furthermore, for the unit has much vocabulary that cause students be lazy or interested. What's the best way to put the horrible situation? It's learning via internet. Hello class. What decision I talk so much more than another times? More especially, maybe students who have been busy to work or playing Facebook that be a waitress to make their learnings recklessness. Okay, I think that it's much time for talking. Do not mention that. Please turn your feeling back into the news units that have the title is learning process. Yes. Okay, learning is not something done to students, but rather something students themselves do. And we have for learning process styles such as okay, number one, learning is purposeful, and number two, learning is a result of experience, and number three, learning is multifaceted, and number four, learning is an active process. So we should into the first step of learning process first. Learning is purposeful, or we can say purposeful learning is an instructional strategy that has an ability to help students expand their capacity to learn. A student see a learning situation from a different viewpoint. A student is a unique individual whose past experience affects readiness to learn and understanding of the requirement involved. Students learn from any activity that tend to further their goals and the individual need when a teacher makes determine what they learn as much as what the instructor is trying to get them to learn. For example, teacher may give students the assignments. Some students may learn quickly and be able to competently present the assignment materials. And other students' goal may only be to comply with the teacher assignment. Goal may result in only minimum preparations. The response differ because a student acts in accordance with what he she seen in the situation. Okay, because because students aren't the same talents. Some students be smart and easy to grasp what teacher means, but other ones the knowledge has limited. So they need more disorientation and showing ways to read their assignment as if another students they know how to do, but they just be lazy and ask for helping from these other ones. Okay, it's the tolerance of a student that they got from or while the learning in the classroom. More especially if it thinks about the learning. Okay, we have many methodology for notice, practice, experience, change of mindset, intellectual development, cognitive development, modification of attitude and behaviors, enhancing skill, acquisition of knowledge, change in habit, observation. Yeah, all of these means the compound of learning. So we should into the second step of the learning process part. Yeah, mean learning is a result of experience. Experiential learning is the process of learning by doing. Mean that teacher let student to do assignment, okay, just gives the method that how to raise the goal and follows about the way that the teacher shows. But teacher just orientations. Okay. By engaging students in hand-on experience and reflections, they are better able to connect theories and knowledge learned in the classrooms to a real-world situation. Okay, more especially, I always ask you, oh, hello, lady and gentlemen, right? And or hello class, okay, who has got a job in the class, okay, before we starting the unit, right? So the some students say, okay, I'm a manager, okay, okay, I have worked in the another place as a class. So all of this the experience that they got after the or while they learning, right? Okay, so that I mean that when we learning is the result of experience, mean teacher just already knows about how to reach, okay, or get the success or goals, but you also be yourself that gets the successful by your own self. Okay, no teacher guide your hand to guide or to get the successful or get the goal, no, but you focus on your experience that the teacher orientating you to get or you ever knows about how to choose the way for getting the successful in the goal or achievement, etc. Okay, can continue our lesson. The student can learn only from personal experience. Therefore, learning and knowledge cannot exist apart from a person. Mean that you cannot learn from knowledge. Right? You cannot learn from knowledge. So it's just into the school and get the knowledge from the teacher or another person that is essential, more than you, right? Okay, since learning is an individual process, the instructor cannot do it for the students. Because the learning is the individual process, the instructor cannot do it for the student because it refers to student imagination and experience. They be a best way to reach what students dream. Okay, learning from experience what the student does. Today, the focus moves from what the teacher does in the learning context to what the student do and the relationship between learning and experience. This based on extensive research into student learning in higher education. So if it thinks about the experiential learning, I separate to 4 steps, or we can say the cycles, right? Cycle experiential learnings, such as concrete experience, abstract conceptualization, reflective observation, and active experimentations. Yeah. So what does it mean that things about the concrete experience? What does it mean? And about abstract conceptualization and reflective observation, more especially related to the active experimentation. Okay, if you want to know about the definition of them, you should follow me if you want. Okay, number 1, we think about the concrete experience. Okay, means a new experience or situation is encounters or reinterpretation of exciting experience. Meaning, if the teacher tells you about the new thing and orient you to know about how to do it, you can or you get it clearly and reflection and reflection. So number 2, I think about the reflective observation of the new experience. Mean that of a particular important or any inconsistency between experience and understanding. Mean about the step that the teacher orient you to know about how to reach a goal. You start thinking and you find or reflecting to know about the way to show it. And number 3, abstract conceptualization. Reflection gives rise to new ideas or modification of an existing abstract concept the person has learned from their experience. Mean that we think about the abstract conceptualization refers to your experience that we had before. More especially refers to the knowledge. If you have the experience but not enough knowledge for complete it, okay, is not successful. Mean goals, right? Your goals, knowledge and experience. And number 4, achieve experimentation. The learner apply their ideas to the world around them to see what happens. Okay, mean this step you should face to the problem and solve it. How does experiential learning relate to growth, learning and teaching? If you say about or answer the question, you focus on the experiment or experiential learning is one of the foundation of works integrated learning, or we can call WILs programs. If you think about the WIL program, we also know as internship, practicum, collaborative learnings, service learnings, and career development learning, more especially referred to the experience-based learning. Okay, experience-based learning refers to about your experience while you learn in the university or college. If you get from just another book, is more especially for you, right? Yeah, it's the way for you to know or evidence for you to complete the another work in the sample. Okay, and the learning is multifaceted. If instructor or teacher sees their objective as being only to train their students' memory and muscle, they are underestimating the potential of the teaching situation. Students learn much more than expected if they fully exercise their minds and feelings. The fact that this item was not included in the instructor or teacher's plan does not prevent them from influencing the learning situation. Okay, mean that teacher knows how the object that the student will get and learning in the situation or classroom. A teacher just orient student to do this, do that, and student after that student kind of about because mean learning is multifaceted. Okay, and more especially refers to teacher let student to read about the track, or let student discussing, or let student to presentation in the class after they discussing about the topic, etc. And the last one, learning is an active process. Students do not absorb up knowledge like a sponge absorbs water. The instructor or teacher cannot assume that students remember something just because they were in the classroom, shop, or aircraft when the instructor or teacher presents the materials. In other words, can this instructor or teacher assume the student may apply what they know because they can quote the correct answer verbatim, for example, or for students to learn. Yeah? They need to react and respond, perhaps outwardly, perhaps only inwardly, emotionally, or intellectually. More especially refers to the result after the presentation or the classmate asks about this or that and they can answer it. Okay, So we just finished about the unit that have the title is learning process. So after finish about this unit, I have 3 questions for asking, and it can be the homework for you if you want. Number 1, how does experiential learning relate to good learning and teaching? And number 2, what are difference between learning theory and learning process? And the last one, number 3, what are the state of experiential learning styles? Okay, thank you so much for you spend much time for watching my video clip. Okay, save like, stay home. Okay, bye bye everyone. See you next week.